Buenos dias. I am back with another mini video on the Regalo Flores, and I am going to stay on the topic of self-abandonment. But first, happy Friday. Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe. Um, I'm feeling the sun. I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling all the things. So I'm excited to be here, and I hope that you are too. And I hope that you're excited for summer if you're really feeling it. So today's topic is self-abandonment and safety. So the last video we talked about self-abandonment, and today we are going to talk a little bit more about self-abandonment and why it's important to create security and safety within ourselves, right? Because that's the antidote for self-abandonment. So just a quick recap. Self-abandonment is when we turn our back to our own needs, our emotions, our boundaries, in order to be accepted, loved, or just to avoid conflict. Self-abandonment looks like saying yes when you actually mean no, ignoring your intuition, putting others ahead of putting others ahead of yourself every single time, and silencing yourself to keep the peace. Most of us learn this at an early age, especially those that come from backgrounds with like immigrant families, being black or brown, or just even having like survival mode kind of a background or environment. So we learned this at a young age because that's what we had to learn how to just kind of survive and how to keep ourselves safe, was just to kind of please other people kind of thing. But what happens is that when we keep abandoning ourselves, we start to lose trust in our own voice. Oftentimes, I always hear people not knowing between what's their voice and what's somebody else's voice. And usually, I always like to say, like, if it's something critical or if it's something starting off with, like, I should have done that, I need to do this. Well, not I need to do this, because that one can sometimes work, but like, I should have done this, like, where you're just constantly just kind of like belittling or critical yourself. The loud critic, inner critic, is the one that's the loudest, and it's not your voice. It's usually influenced by somebody else's voice. um when you start to abandon yourself and you start to lose trust in your own voice, we start to feel anxious, we start to feel burnt out, we start to feel resentful, or like just even feeling like you're never enough or like you're too much. That's always been my one. So I've feeling like I was too much of asking, I was asking for too much, or I was needing for too much, and that way, um sorry, my words are in here. I haven't had coffee yet. My brain's not fully awake, so you're just gonna have to bear with me, y'all. um so yeah, so you feel anxious, you feel resentful, you feel burnt out, or like just feeling like you're never enough, right? So you can't feel safe in your life if you're constantly rejecting yourself. Healing begins when you start to come home to yourself. Healing begins when you start to just kind of hear what it is that you need for yourself versus what's better for somebody else, right? And that's hard because we do that a lot. We want to take care of other people, if it's our family, if it's our jobs, if it's our friends, if it's our partners. We want to show up, but over time sometimes we do too much for other people and we forget our own needs. So what does it feel and what does it mean to be secure? To feel secure means that you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your feelings. You have to trust your boundaries. You have to trust your gut. It means showing up for yourself consistently. It's being your own anchor. It's being your own safe place. It's being your own ride or die. I think oftentimes, and nothing wrong, because I think it's important in relationships, right, to have that partner that you feel safe and secure. Like that's very part of, it's very it's very important in a relationship. But sometimes we tend to cling on to people. We cling on to our partners, our friends, our family, um, because we believe that they are the only thing that makes us feel safe. But it's important to remember that you are on your own journey here in life, and the only way that you can fill that void is with yourself, is coming home to yourself. So, here are three quick ways to start building safety in yourself. One way is to constantly just have like a pause and check ins, right? Of like, how are you feeling? What do I need? What do I feel? Now, you have to be careful with that, because sometimes when we say, well, what do I need? Well, I just need this person to respond back to me, or I just need this person to show up this way. We're still expecting other people to do or change their behaviors to make us feel safe. But we have to remind ourselves, What do I need? Does it mean that I need to take some time because I had conflict with my partner, um, and I'm just feeling really anxious because I don't know how to have conversations with them or whatever it may be. I just need to take care of myself and maybe journal, maybe just go outside for a walk. Let me just take care of myself, right? Things like that. So constantly checking in with yourself. What do I need? How do I feel? And even it doesn't even have to be problem solving. It could just be more of like validating, hey, I'm just feeling really low energy today. For example, me. Another one is reparenting your inner child. So something as simple as like when you can identify a trigger of like, oh, I remember I used to feel this as a child, or I remember I experienced abandonment or neglect, and that's why, like now it shows up in relationships. It's just more of acknowledging, like, okay, put your hand on your heart is what I always do, and just tell yourself, I see you, I'm here, and I'm not leaving you. And sometimes that's all that it needs, and just taking a few deep breaths into that, because it helps to regulate your nervous system. um, Another one is keeping tiny promises to yourself. So it could be as simple as, if I'm not hydrated enough, right, I'm going to drink an extra glass of water a day. I'm going to take a few deep breaths before I do this presentation or this meeting. I'm going to set one boundary with a certain person. That's you taking these little small steps of building that security within yourself. Now, it's not going to always be fun, especially in the beginning when you're learning how to do these things, but the more that you practice, the better that it gets. I often like to say to people that when you start to set boundaries and people get mad, it means that you're doing the right thing, because you're stepping up for yourself and you're saying no instead of yes. So those are some small steps towards healing that self-abandonment. And I think it's just always a reminder, right, that you deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel secure in your body. You deserve to trust yourself, but it starts with you. It doesn't start with somebody else. It doesn't start with somebody filling in the gap or the void. It has to be with you. You have to learn how to have a relationship with yourself so that you can help build that security. So there's that. Don't forget to always choose yourself. If this resonated with you, let me know how it comes up in your life. Um, I am now, I have now completed my first coaching plan. So it's an 8 week, and we talk a lot about self abandonment, building security, shame, things like that. So if you're interested, or if you know someone that's interested, this is mostly tailored for the ones that are always taking care of the world, always taking care of others, the perfectionists, the people pleasers, the high achievers, all of those people that are ones that are always showing up for everybody. This is mostly tailored for people like you. So if you have any questions, have any comments, let me know. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.